Ladies and gentlemen, I am shocked listening to MP.Bashir Abdulahi. MP.Bashir Abdulahi is saying that people are killed. People are killed worldwide. We sympathize with them and we move on. Yesterday, when he was given a chance in the parliament, our leader like this can say such kind of word after BBC documentary report. Instead of coming out with a conclusion or some point, essential point of discussion, he was pointless, heartless, and now feeling like he doesn't have any son and daughter in this country. Oh, I wish that one of his son or daughter could have been shot during that demonstration, is when he feel that pain as a parent or even relative. Imagine an MP saying that there's nothing to be sympathized on. Just let us watch this video before even I proceed.
But let us not clap hands for foreigners who always come and say, this is wrong, what you are doing. Pointing fingers at whatever we do. BBC is a world-renowned media station. They have never talked about the genocide that is happening in Gaza, and yet it's a world service. BBC World Service has attended to this matter in a way that also looked at the Kenyan society or African society as something that discriminatory, sort of, if I may say so. Honorable Speaker, it looked like our media stations also picked it up without questioning how BBC World Service aired the story. It happens world over. People are killed, our people are killed, we sympathize, we moved on. Even world over. Remember, there was the same issue or similar in Capitol Hill. BBC World Service never took the opportunity to say something. It happened in London, they never said it. It happened in many Western nations, they never said it. Above all, there's the killing of women and children in Gaza, and BBC World Service never speak about it. Unfortunately, where 50,000 have been killed so far, especially women and children by a country. They never cover those things. So I think the timing of that report, and it comes at a time when IPOA and other investigative agencies are doing an investigation, and they never shared that with them. Let us not subjugate or discriminate against our own agencies that we think are doing their jobs. It's a matter of us saying, let us ensure that they have capacity to do their job. But let us not clap hands for foreigners who always come and say, this is wrong, what you are doing. Pointing fingers at whatever we do. BBC is a world-renowned media station. They have never talked about the genocide that is happening in Gaza, and yet it's a world service. But they want to incite at this time. So, Honorable Speaker, I think why I'm raising this point, because the title itself talks about bloodbath parliament. They should have talked about the protests that happened that day in Kenya or Nairobi, but they chose to use the term bloodbath parliament. That is to also see parliament in a very bad light. This doesn't mean that we don't sympathize with our Kenyans who have been killed. We did here. We mourned them. We empathized with them. We sympathized with them. But the timings of this report by BBC World is unfortunate. And it touches on lack of patriotism also on our part, trying to showcase things done by a foreign media. I want to take on BBC World. Please go to Gaza and report also what is happening in Gaza.
So the people in his constituency, or from his constituency, are happy and saying they have a leader. They are happy and saying they have a leader. That is how a leader should react. A leader should react by at least showing his arrogancy. This is wrong. So wrong, so sad. Malipo ni hapa duniani. Dunia ni fani sana. Hii dunia tunaishi ni fani sana. Leo unaweza jichocha vile uko nayo. Leo unaweza jichocha vile you are so powerful. Kesho hao watu unadhulumu ndio kesho watakuzika. I'm telling you for free. We've seen it. Watu wameuawa. Hadi serikali ya Kenya wamejua wameua watu. Na hii mambo ya kuua watu kwa street tumeongelea sana. Hata hiyo BBC, we thank them for exposing this government because serikali ya Kenya walikuwa wanangoja ifanyike ndio watoe. Jana muliona spokesperson Isaac Mwaura. Mimi nikamuona nikashindwa. Is Mwaura having ila akili vizuri, ila akili ya kusema hii nchi tunaelekea wapi? Instead of coming up with that, anasema BBC was one-sided. The same way, huyo MP is pointless motion in the parliament. It was so pointless. People are killed. So what if people are killed? Assume it was one of your relatives being killed or has been killed. I don't think if he was going to speak that way. I don't think if he could have that time to speak that way. Let us not pretend that now we have made it in life. We don't sympathize with other Kenyans. There are so many Kenyans who made us to be there. Through even their prayer, as much as they don't vote for us. Wewe ni mbunge, kazi yako ni kudhulumu wale wameua. Ujui machungu yenye wazazi wamepitia. Wengine wamekuwa abducted. But the same these rogue police officers and the same rogue leadership Kenyans are receiving in this government. Wewe umepewa nafasi kuongea, badala ukuje na suluhisho tutatue haya maneno. Wewe unasema ati people are being killed. We sympathize and we move on. You are the one who is going to make me to. Next time I will check the parliament schedule. We will visit and I will go with this video to demand the Speaker of the National Assembly. There is always parliament visitation, by the way. We will make it to Nairobi. Yes, we bring this MP in public and tell us if this is how a leader should react. In fact, mwenye aliongea vizuri hapo ni Milo Odhiambo na mmesikia nikifanya. Wewe Bashir, ufao ujue hata huko kwenu watu wanalalamika. Hakuna kitu chungu kama Wakenya wanaamka asubuhi to demand their justice. It is well illustrated in the constitution. Wewe nyinyi ndio mna implement laws, MPs. Lakini badala ukuje hata usaidie wewe rais kusema hapa tulienda vibaya. How can we now teach our police officers? How can we now teach our Kenyans youth when it's come to demonstration? Lakini sasa watu wako na uchungu, wewe bado unaongeza mauchungu. This is wrong. This is wrong, and in fact the EACC should go for this gentleman. He should be arrested and he should be demanded to withdraw his statement. In fact, you are mocking even the BBC News. Juzi nilisikia jana tu, nikasikia huyu mwingine pia anaitwa nani, this man from Homa Bay. How many of you know him? I don't know this name. You know, I interact with many of them. Huyu mwenye alisema ati BBC News should be deleted. Anyway, if you know the name, just drop at the comment section below. Imagine, wameleta shida. Hii shida sasa ni lazima tuangalie ni nini imefanya tuingilie kwa shida yote. Even ndio I think viongozi wangekaa kwa parliament watatue. Lakini sasa watu kama Bashir, sijui kwa nini mnachagua watu kama hao. I don't know. Hata ili mngenichagua watu kama huyu, mtu kama huyu ajielewe. Hapo ndiye amepata nafasi ya kuongea. Hata badala angejitetea kwake hakuna electricity, kwake hakuna maji. That person is Peter Kaluma. That MP. He's also speaking the same way huyu MP anaongea Bashir. Lakini si wote. And I want to thank other remaining MPs. Just remain sober-minded the way you are. You can go far in this life. Because after all, at the end of the journey, no one will spare you and say that you were once a leader. But God is the one who will reward you for such kind of generous heart you are having. And even not all police officers. Some of them are close to their bosses, receiving instruction. They have been unpacked by people like Murkomen, by people like I.G. Kanja, to kill and murder our sons and daughters in this country, as if they were once they did not suffer in some years back. People do forget. The world will never forget you for whatever you've done. And that is what BBC have done to Ruto's administration. So Bashir Abdulahi should understand that whatever he has said in social media is something so painful, not only to where he comes from, but to many millions of Kenyans, both parents and even young generation, as we speak. So he must apologize. Now there are three, even Farah Maalim. They are the MPs, notorious MPs, speaking anyhowly, yet they call themselves leaders. In fact, ulimi ni kitu kidogo, na ikiisha imeisha hivyo. Lakini maneno inatoka kwa mdomo ya binadamu. Yale maneno Mungu tu ndiye anaweza tatua. But we must now try to regulate our tongue before we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, what are some of your observations? Give us your opinion at the comment section below. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. It is still Zion Kenya TV YouTube platform.